Hello guys, and today I will be showing you guys the best settings for your business, for your Honeyday, for boosting, anything along those lines, and I will just show you guys what's the best for, business coming out tomorrow. You have to get prepared. I will be showing you for Natro macro, not Revolution. I use Natro. So the first thing you want to do is I would download a custom pattern. I would download Miku Tideshift. This is the one that I use. You can get it from the Beastform Guide Help Discord server. You go to their macro patterns and everything. This is the one that I use. It works really well for me. Um, just put it into your folder. It tells you how to do it, and then copy the code and click on paste, and all the code here will paste in. If not, then just if you don't know how to copy in the code, just copy everything I have here. And the next thing is collect and kill. For boosting, I would keep the clock on because it does give you honey per pollen. I think that is pretty worth it, and it's better than having it off. I think at the time to stop your boosting to go get the clock is good. That's what I think. Mondo obviously buff for 50 seconds, 60 seconds, sorry. And dispensers, none of this. You don't want any of the dispensers. This stuff is just gonna take away from your boosting, and everything takes out too much time. Kill, obviously don't want anything. Now this is the most important tab. Boost is the most important tab. Hotbar slots. If you have the same thing I have right here, which in the second slot, you always want to have blue extracts at 10 minutes. You always want to have those. Oils, always want to have those at 10 minutes. Now, you want to have enzymes when you're converting at Bloom because they give you a better convert rate, which obviously saves you time whenever you're, converting, and kind of self-explanatory. This is you don't really see too many people do this, but this is jelly beans. Now, this is why I do it. If you don't want to use your tropical drinks because you're saving up for coconut belt or you're saving up for something like that and you don't want to use tropical drinks, you don't have to, which I mean honestly, I probably would. But if you can't, then just use jelly beans. And if you're using jelly beans, set them to once every like 8 minutes. Once every 8 minutes is when you should be using your jelly beans because it's just jelly beans anyway, and they give you 100% convert with the shared bonus and everything. It's all pretty good stuff. But if you're gonna be using tropical drinks like I probably am, then you want this set to 10 minutes as well. And then now you want to go to your auto field boost on the top right, and now you want to use dice and glitter. Dice at least, glitter, it's up to you. And some people have said that the field boost doesn't work, like the free field booster doesn't work and it messes it up sometimes. I would still have it on, but if you find out that it doesn't work for you and it's not, you don't want to, risk wasting it, then keep it off. Dice, hotbar slot 6, glitter, hotbar slot 7. Okay. And you want to keep this at 12 and a half, and automatic field boosting for gathering pine tree. What does this do? You can check what it does if you want. Now, you could, okay, so what this does is it sets a limit to how many dice and glitter you can use. If you are scared of the macro messing up and using all of your glitter, then you could set it to a specific amount of glitter used. But if you just want to wing it, I guess, then you could just set it to however much you want. And that's the boost tab. Make sure that you have it on and everything. Autofield boost on, all this stuff, make sure everything's there. And then really important, sticker stack. Make sure you're not using hive cubs. Make sure you're like cub skins or anything. Make sure you're using tickets. And I would do timer detect because the macro is supposed to detect when your sticker stack runs out, and then it'll go back to the sticker stack and redo it with tickets. I've been stacking up tickets for a little bit. I mean, I had to use a couple, but I have about 4,000 tickets, which should definitely be enough for, you know, the honey day and for quite a bit of business in general. Quests, you got nothing. Self-explanatory. You don't want to be. This is gonna nerf your honey making by like 4 times if you put on quests. Not worth it at all. Planters. Now, I I have it set to these. Now my planters are pretty good. They're pretty decent. If you don't have some of the end game planters, then don't use it. But I have it set to this. I know it's weird, but these are my nectars. I have 23 hours of comforting, 16 of motivating, 16 of refreshing, 5 of invigorating, and 15 of satisfying. And these obviously fluctuate because I have my nectar priority set so high. Sometimes comforting, motivating, and satisfying are up high, and refreshing and invigorating are down low. And sometimes these are at like 20 hours, but these are at like 24 and like 18 and stuff like that. So it all fluctuates. If you want to, you could set this down to 70 and set this down to 80 or even 70 and 60, but something like this would probably be pretty good. And you don't make sure that you don't have a planter set into pine tree because if you have one of your planters set into pine tree, then the bees will sip nectar out of the planter, and that means that they can't make as many ability tokens as they would normally because they're sipping nectar out of a planter. So, that's pretty obvious. I would set bamboo instead of pine tree. And then you could set up a webhook if you want. You have to go into your Discord, make a Discord server, set up a webhook. There's a whole bunch of guides on YouTube for that. It's super simple, not hard at all. If you guys need help, just let me know. For the Honeyday, you're not gonna use for the 2 days of Honeyday. You're not gonna use more than I would say 400 blue extracts, 400 oils, probably 300 ish enzymes. Maybe if you want to set your um tropical drinks up higher, so you only use about 200 and some to every 15, 20 minutes if you want to not use as many, but still get, a lot of the buffs out of it. You're gonna use a lot of field dice. You're probably gonna use like, I mean, it obviously all depends, but you could use like up to 1,000 field dice for the honey day, 900, 700, a lot of field dice, and it's a lot of field dice. And your glitter, you're gonna use a lot of glitter too. And if you have a lot of snowflakes from last Beesmas, you could use them too, because snowflakes obviously they give really good small buffs, everything like that. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like and subscribe. And I hope you guys make a lot of honey during Beesmas. Good luck in your honey day.